when my daughter would hit me, and I couldn't really understand why I'm so angry with her. It's a little fist. Why is this making me so angry? Or I would cry and run away from her. So it was my trauma from my childhood.
Hi, and welcome to the Zen Supermom Podcast. Today, I have a story for you. It's a story of an expatriate mom of a little toddler girl. And that mom who couldn't keep her emotions in check, and whenever her daughter would kick or hit her, she would shout at her. And she tried therapy, but that didn't help. So, what is it that did help her? What is it that she had to heal? And what is it that she had to learn to become a safe mom who can set healthy boundaries without dropping any emotional baggage at her daughter? But what happened even afterwards? Because now she's actually becoming a part of my team, of the Zen Supermom coaching team, because she got trained as a trauma specialist herself. And then I trained her and two other ladies on my method specifically. So they are joining the team as first time ever clients, healed moms who retrained and are becoming trauma coaches. Isn't that amazing? I'm so excited of how, what becomes possible once you turn your pain into purpose. And when you have so much compassion and you can hold the safe space. That's what you will hear in this conversation a lot as well. The ability to hold space and stay grounded even when there are big emotions. So much so that not only she's a safe parent for her daughter now, but she can hold that safe space for other moms as they go on their healing journey. So, without any further ado, come and meet Monika with me. Hi, Monika. So happy to have you.
It's to be here with you.
Yeah, and I'm really excited to talk to you today because today, on Friday, there will be the day when we release all 3 interviews with the new Zen Supermom coaches. And you're one of them. And I'm so excited to share your story because I bet so many moms are going to resonate with where you started as once upon a time, not perfect mom. And we will talk about that. And not only you managed to heal yourself and the relationship with your child, but it's marked you, it changed you so much that you decided to make this your passion and your professional path. So I'm so excited for you. Thank you for your openness to share your story.
Thank you. Yeah, I feel like the whole journey has touched so many spheres of my life, not just motherhood, but relationship with my husband and my parents, my sister, just me in general, and how I look at what I'm doing with my life.
Yeah. So let's start step by step. Let's start at the beginning. So where were you when we met? What was the point? How was the situation? What was going on?
I was already doing therapy. My toddler was around 2, maybe a little bit younger.
2.5 I have here, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You have the notes. So yeah, so actually I started therapy when she was around 2 because, well, we call them terrible twos in UK. I don't like that, terrible twos. They just time when she had big feelings and I couldn't help her because I had big feelings. I had my reactions to her emotions was not great. Yeah, so to give you some specifics, I knew it was my issue. I knew that what she was doing was normal. I knew her kicking, screaming, and hitting me was something that most kids go through. So I knew that me reacting by screaming in the pillow or slamming the door was my problem. And so I reached out to a therapist, and that helped a little bit. But I didn't have the tangible advice. She was great. She was a nice lady, and she gave me tiny bits of advices where I could use a little bit. She, for example, had made the connection for me that I need to go back to my body and what do I like to do to calm myself down. And I would say, well, I don't know, take a shower. And she said, yeah, do it. I'm like, well, I can't take a shower all the time or 10 times a day. How do I deal with this? I can't be sitting in the shower.
The whole day, yeah.
Yeah, that would be nice, but it's not the reality. I'm a mom. I need to react in a different way. I need to go to the core of this. Why am I so angry? Yeah. Yeah. So, and I think there was one moment where I can't even remember why. It was probably something silly, but I kicked her dolly like a little buggy across the room, and it just flew. And she seen that, and I thought, that's not great. I need some help. I need something else. Um, and yeah, I don't know how, but a few days later, I found your ad. I went to the free.
It used to be mommy tantrum training back then,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, something spoke to me, and then we met. And I remember Lily asking, "Are you ready to start?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm ready." So I stopped the therapy and I jumped into your program. And
Yeah.
I am.
Excellent. So this is what so many moms will resonate with because you were doing your best. It's not that you were a bad mom. Like you were looking for help even before you knew it's with you. You were not blaming your toddler. But the ways that you were trying to do, they were not applicable always. They helped sometimes, like the shower, but you can't be in the shower 24/7. So there were the tools missing. Now, what you were saying that she helped you realize it was a little bit in your body. What else did you find out? And then throughout the course of working through it, what was the source of that anger that you couldn't control specifically for you?
Yeah, so it was my trauma from my childhood, and really little bits of adulthood. My dad was a highly functioning alcoholic, aggressive when he would drink. He would come home and wanted to argue with my mom. So I remembered all this. And for example, to give you something specific, when my daughter would hit me, I would get that sense of rage. And I couldn't really understand why I'm so angry with her. Like, she's a little baby, she's innocent. Okay, she hit me, but it's a little fist. Why is this making me so angry? Or there was two reactions. I would either get really angry or I would cry and run away from her, which also is not great as a mom. But yeah, I just couldn't understand the feelings. Why is this making me so uncontrollably emotional? So I somehow knew that it could be related to my childhood and the memories and what happened when I was little, but the one-to-one sessions that I had in your program really confirmed that, and I was able to have the confirmation through my body because, as you explained in your other podcast episodes, you go through the session where you connect with your body and you can go back with your memories and find the same feeling within yourself. You can find it. You can pinpoint the start of that. So I could see myself sitting on my mom's lap when my father was hitting her, and that was that bit that piece that I could connect and then go in there and heal it.
Yeah.
So it worked like magic because I could really live that, which was difficult at first. I did cry, but also got a closure. And I was shocked that after first session, my toddler hit me, and wow, I don't feel angry with her. It's like, okay, now I can just stay with her. Yes, I can explain that this is not what we do, or you know,
Yeah. And
calm and explain to her in a calm way, or just stay with her.
yeah, because only that is the point when you can apply the parenting techniques, you can set the healthy boundaries because you are not reacting from your old pain. And this is so important that you're mentioning it. And thank you so much for being so open and vulnerable, because I can only imagine how much pain that was. And I'm so sorry that your childhood was like this, that you and your mom had to go through this. But also the fact that you're talking about it so openly, it will allow a lot of moms to start connecting their dots, because it's not always 100% like one-to-one connection. It doesn't mean that because your mom was yelling at you, that's why you're yelling at your kid. Like, it's not like this, or it's because your dad was hitting you. And maybe he was later on. But this is so important, as you're saying, as you're mentioning, trauma healing is not a DIY.
Mm.
You need to be in the hands of, or in the hands of, you're in an online space, but you need to work with a coach who is experienced in creating that safe space so that you feel the trust and you feel safe enough to actually go and unlock that memory and unlock that part of you. Because naturally, all of us, we have kind of like a gatekeeper in front of our memory. And whatever is too painful, it's locked behind the door so that you don't feel the pain every single day when something reminds you of that. So that's why it's completely normal what Monika is mentioning here. She remembered her dad being aggressive, but only after she started working. And in the first one-on-one session, when you work with somebody who knows what they're doing, they can take you right there, right back to that core experience, which sometimes it is one, even though then there was snowball of other events. But sometimes it is one event like this when you were maybe even too small to remember, but it does come out through your body, because your body right now, even with your toddler, your kids, it feels exactly the same way as it felt back then. That's exactly what Monika here so beautifully explained and shared. So this is what this healing is about, because then once you're able to work through it, once you had the tools to work through it, then even just after one session, it releases. It is painful to go through it, but it's no less painful than what's happening with your kid every day when you're reacting from that pain without even realizing what you're doing. So thank you so much for mentioning this and for being
Just
like
to
taking us with you.
and just to add to this, and some people might resonate. I don't remember much of my childhood. Um, so I remember a lot from my grandparents' place where I felt safe, and very little from my home. Um, and if I do, it will be just my room. It's like where I had my oasis. Um, but most of the painful memories somehow got deleted. So sometimes it's even hard to understand because I didn't remember.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And that's for you, and at least you had some clue because you remembered what was going on with your father. It's then even more difficult for people like me who were lucky enough to have had happy childhoods. Like, I don't have anybody to blame. Like, really, I had like normally functioning parents without any of this baggage, and yet it's the same thing, right? So that's why it's very important to get curious about that link and not dismiss as like, no, I'm just angry because my kids are misbehaving and that's why I need to shout because I don't want them to kill each other. I'm like, yeah, right, sure, let's set boundaries, but also there's no need to get so worked up and stressed out if there's not enough time, or if they are kicking you, hurting you. There's no need to take it personally. because it is not personal. It is about something is going on for them. But the fact that you're adding your own emotional baggage and trauma onto that, like that creates a new generational snowball of giving it further. So yeah, this is a very important part of the discussion. So thank you for having the courage to share that with us. Yeah, I think it's going to help a lot of moms. Yeah.
I think the more you get upset, the more your child feels it, and the more resistance they will give you. So it's like a vicious circle. So when you calm, you can somehow just resolve everything, and that's
Yeah.
an amazing tool that I've learned in the program.
Absolutely, because then it's not personal. That it's something, it's not about you're a bad kid because you did this. Then the energy is you're safe with me and I love you no matter what. It's just that this behavior or what just happened, that's not okay. So let's work on that together.
Mm.
And we are not attacking the child at the level of their identity, repeating the trauma by making them feel not good enough or not
Mm.
wanted, or like the threat of the punishment or the anger, like unless you start behaving, I will actually, like, I will kick you out, kind of like from my emotional space. That's the worst punishment a kid can ever feel.
Yeah.
The rejection of their own mom, that the mom is so wrapped up in her own feelings that she doesn't see me. Maybe I made a mistake, maybe I did something on purpose, but it's disproportionate, the reaction. So yeah, indeed, it's
Yes, that's when I also realized my daughter sees me being so emotional, and at some point she will think, "Gosh, that's my fault. I made mommy feel that way. I must be bad." And that was, for me, that was something that made me want to change myself.
I must be bad. I'm not worthy of her love because my mistakes are bigger than her love for me. I'm not worth it. And that's what, surprise, surprise, anybody listening or watching. Do you feel you love yourself? You're worthy of love? Or do you feel like you need to prove it, hyperachieve, perfect, control, people please, like prove others take care of them so that maybe somebody takes a little bit care of you? Like this is exactly where it's coming from. Yeah, because kids make it their fault. And that's where, exactly as you shared, Monika, that's when all the conflicts then get created out of small challenges, because then it becomes really about this like battle of traumas, basically, the anger and I'm not good enough, and then it's like this huge mumbo jumbo of emotional tornado, rather than, okay, you kicked me, that's not okay because it hurts, and here are the boundaries, here are the natural consequences, and let's move on. Like, I
Mhm.
love you anyways, I love you too much to let you treat me this way. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
because I don't want you to let anybody treat you this way. So let's set up some ground rules. But I know you didn't do it on purpose. You did it because you're hungry, tired, jealous, somebody stole your toy, whatever. We changed your routine. Like, you don't make it this like huge thing. So yeah, very important points. Thank you so much. I would take it now. Let's skip a few
Mhm.
months later. What was, if you remember it, when you finish the Zen Supermom program? So when you finished your sessions, you are rewiring your brain, like learning a healthy, safe way, how to set boundaries with your daughter. How are you feeling then? Because there was an important like point when then at some point you realize like, oh my goodness, and I want to do more with this, because I'm not talking to you just as to a former client. I'm talking to you today as, welcome to the team, Zen Supermom coach. So what was that shift? What happened after you finished like that first big trauma cleanup?
Um, I want to start from this. I remember you asking me how you're gonna celebrate, and I felt I don't need to celebrate that much because I feel so happy just like even being with my daughter and not feeling constantly drained and emotionally overwhelmed. That is celebration in itself. Um, but then I obviously started thinking about what I want to do with my life. You might know that I've taken up violin because that's something I wanted to do.
I remember that
And
was the challenge. Wouldn't it be
yeah,
fun if,
what
yeah.
what if I just started? doing something I always wanted. And then your email came, where you said about the training happening again, and that's the same training you did. That's how you started the program. And I thought, I don't know, it was like someone just spoke to me and said, "Hey, you should do this." And thought, why not? Even just to understand this on a deeper level, uh, I want to do it, and then and just be open to whatever comes up.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
remember you were mentioning that at that point you didn't even have like the vision to become a Zen Supermom coach, like on
yeah,
the team, but that you wanted to do it for yourself to go deeper in your healing, which is amazing.
yeah, yeah. I mean, at the background, there was the idea maybe I'll be a coach, but actually, within during that course, uh, that the idea kept coming back that I would love to help other moms, and in that course, I gained so much more confidence uh, in the program, but also in myself. Started trusting myself and thought, wow, that something's happening here, and it's so powerful, and I want to share this. I want to share this with other moms, and because I've been through all this, maybe can understand it better. I can feel it. I know where people are coming from.
Yeah. And that's why I love it so much for all three of you new coaches, because you had that experience yourself. So you have 100% compassion, zero judgment for any of the moms coming into our space now, because you've been there yourself. And you know that this is not about becoming like parenting coaches and giving advice and script and just like, yeah, take a shower if that relaxes you. Like, no, you know exactly that you need to go deeper. And I just find it like so fantastic that not only you know how to create that safe space for you and your daughter, no matter what emotion is coming up, no matter what like your still experience might resurface, you know how to handle yourself. But throughout that very intense training, you're able to now hold space even for other moms as they go through their healing and like trauma cleanup. So this just speaks volume about how far you've come, because like you're able to hold so much space. And this is something that is so important for me whenever I'm hiring new coaches, because I met a lot of therapists, lots of people with like so many certifications and programs, and then they tell me, yeah, but I start crying when I have my client because I'm going through exactly the same thing, so I feel so much pain for them because it's exactly the same pain I'm feeling. And I'm like, okay, zero judgment. Thank you for your time, but we are not a good fit. You're not safe. You cannot let the client drag you down to the pain. Yes, we feel empathy and compassion for our clients, for our moms who are suffering, but we are holding safe space because we know what's possible. We are taking them to that healed space. You're not going to break down in a session with a mom. You will feel her pain. You will understand what she went through, but you will hold her steady and you will help her walk that path toward healing. You're not going to drown in that pain with her. So this is what I love about it so much. This shows your strength so much. So I just wanted to highlight that. I love it.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, this is something I was a little bit afraid of because I'm a very empathetic person. So one of my doubts about this was that I'm gonna feel too much. But you can feel without drowning. You can hold the space, as you said, and be there for someone, but just hold their hand and be calm.
Because you're practicing yourself, and that's actually very similar to the space you're holding for your daughter.
I was thinking that, yeah.
Because you
I
feel
don't
her.
cry with her. I just hold her hand and say, "No, it's fine. I'm here for you."
Exactly. You're there. You feel it, you feel the emotions, but you lead the way. You're a leader. This is basically, for me, trauma healing, trauma coaching role is about leadership. You have to, you're the guide. You cannot, we are not carrying our clients on our back. You will walk, but we walk with you.
Mm.
We are the guides. You're the one, or like I often talk about the mental fitness part as it's a training. We tell them how to do the push-ups. You take them through the process and you show them and you help them practice every day because it is daily practice. But it's you, dear mom, who needs to do the push-ups. We are not doing literal push-ups, of course. In your brain, yes, we do many like brain exercises, but it's you who needs to do it. So our role is leadership. We take you there, and especially with somebody like Monika, she has walked that path. She will have lots of compassion. She knows how hard it is. She told you like you cried in your first session. Totally normal. It is scary as hell, and you just go through it because it's worth it in the end, right?
What's amazing about it is that you don't become dependent on me or Alena. We just give you tools, uh, and then you take the tools with yourself, and you know what to do.
Yeah. And that's why I designed the program and the method the way I did, because I didn't like it that people are so dependent on therapists for years and even decades. I met two moms who told me they were in therapy for 20 years. And I was like, this is insane. There's something wrong there. Yes, it's great to be able to talk weekly with somebody, but you can have your friend for that. But where are the tools? Where is the practice? How are you living what you're learning about? It's not just the brain and theory. You need to now translate and apply that in your real life to see some results. Otherwise, you're like turning in circle for 20 years. What the heck? Okay, I will go off my rant. Back to your story, Monika. I think it would be great to continue on that like authentic sharing line. I would love to hear, because I'm sure there are so many moms who will be curious. How are you parenting today? So like what's different if you pick up the most difficult situation you were sharing, like your daughter was kicking you. So I don't know if she's still kicking, like that's like 2 years later. So like what would be the most difficult situation you're experiencing with your daughter these days, and how are you handling it? How is it different?
So at the moment, she just started school, so there's a lot of emotions, a lot of uncertainty. Um, but actually, I've just remembered what was difficult. And I don't know if you know this, but a month ago, my mom was in hospital and had to spend a week in the hospital with her. And so I wasn't with my daughter. I didn't see her for a week. It was in Wales. Um, and so there was big gap separation. And when I came back, um, people might call it she was naughty, but what I knew that there is something underneath. And after a few days, finally, after talking in the evening, asking what's happening, she said, "Mommy, I don't want you to go anymore. I don't want you to be gone again." And she was unknowingly punishing me. Not punishing me, but she just wanted my attention. She wanted to tell me how upset she was that I was gone. And she had every right to be upset because I was gone, and I couldn't even tell her at the time when I will be back because I didn't know. So that's a lot to take for 4-year-old, and she dealt with it great. Um, and just the fact that we could talk about it, and obviously with younger kids, you might not be able to get there, but just to look at it, she's not naughty. There's something else underneath, and I need to be curious and investigate and just be there for her. And if she wants to have a little meltdown, and feel the feels, okay, if I can just sit next to her and say, I'm here, and just be with it. So yeah.
She's so lucky to have you. Yeah. And this is exactly That's also part of what I wanted everybody to hear and see, like see your energy as you're sharing that story as well. Because any stories that I'm sharing on this podcast or anywhere online, it's not to put myself on a pedestal. I'm not a perfect mom. I make my mistakes. I'm not yelling anymore, but I do sometimes get stressed out or pushed by time pressure. I don't take it out on my daughter. Perfectly imperfect is what all of my clients hear me say all the time until they start repeating it yourself. That's the same standard I hold my coaches to. I don't need anybody to be like perfect mom and a super Instagram like polished example, because that would be fake, that wouldn't be authentic, and perfection is the lowest standard to hold yourself to, because then you're so scared that you don't even try new things. You're so scared of having that pressure on you to succeed 1000% that you don't even go for it, and you're like procrastinating and hiding. So what Monika is sharing here is so beautiful because there is no pressure to be perfect. You're not afraid of making mistakes. You're just so grounded with such beautiful energy, just knowing inside of you, like you're going to get through it together with your daughter. And maybe it will take a few days. And like in the meantime, you will stay curious. But there's this certainty kind of like with the intuition whispering into you, like, we are going to be okay. It's fine. And she will go through her roller coaster. And that doesn't mean anything about myself. I am not going to judge myself as a mom that it's my fault that my daughter is acting up and misbehaving. But you're holding that beautiful grounded space. And that's actually in return, that's a beautiful, like, calm cycle to feed, because her feeling that calmness and that groundedness and that knowing from you, I bet that made it so much faster, so much easier for her to go back to your reestablishing your connection. So that's a beautiful story to share.
Yeah, and you said no one is perfect. There's no such thing. And if I do make a mistake, whether it's with my daughter or husband, I don't sit in it. I just, okay, that was a mistake. I said something maybe I shouldn't have said. I say, I'm sorry. I take a lesson from that and I move on. I used to stew in it for days. And I would get depressed and beat myself up. Would that help anyone? No, didn't help me, didn't help my daughter or husband. I was just this grumpy person, beating myself up for nothing. And just, if I fall, that's fine. I just dust off my clothes and get up and go again.
Yeah, and that's the mental fitness process one-on-one, dealing with the judge, the inner critic that wants to beat you up for the sake of you getting better, but actually it makes it that you getting better so much slower. That process is so much more difficult, and usually it results in even worse damage than before. So yeah, that's what I love about you and all of our new coaches. You practice what you preach. And that's what's going to make you so successful. And that's why I'm so excited to welcome you to the team. And anybody working with Monika, you're so lucky. Excellent. Monika, thank you so much for your time, for your bravery, I would say, like your courage to open up and share it so vulnerably from such an authentic place, saying it exactly as it was, not hiding, not feeling like ashamed of anything. That's really part of what I want to bring to this world, like having just open conversations about what it is and what needs to happen to heal, because that's the whole point of having these conversations. This is not just to rehash old pain or blame our parents for anything. This is to show it that no matter what happened to you in your childhood, you can heal it, because there are people who went through the same. They apply the tools, they are working. So let's get that help for you too. Yeah. Any final words? Anything I didn't ask you about and you'd like to share, or any message for anybody who might be listening, who might be working with you in the coming weeks? Anything else you want to share, Monika?
Be working with me in the future. I just want you to know that I'll be there for you. I'll never judge you. Hold space. Because I've been there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is tools, and they are really working. to, or if you apply them and you practice, and you deserve it. So do it for yourself. Because 2 years on, and I can see how my life has changed, and yours can too.
Yeah, so beautiful. Thank you so much, Monika.
Thank you, Alena.
And thank you, Supermoms, anybody listening or watching. Go and share your insights as well, wherever you're watching or consuming this podcast episode, and there may be parts of Monika's stories that were resonating with you. Go share with us. Tell us what questions did it bring up for you? Maybe what realizations, what curiosity opened up. Yeah, we would love to hear from you. And I'm going to see you in the next Zen Supermom podcast episode. Bye, everybody. Thank you, Monika.
Thank you, Alena. Bye.